Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allah family. Welcome back to a new episode of the Ridwanullah Financial Maximization Show. I'm your host and life and financial maximizer, Hussein Mohamud. Inshallah, just give me a few moments. It's a little bit difficult. I'll share my struggles and difficulties with you guys, inshallah. It's a little bit difficult trying to figure out the order of which to cover the topics and which topics to cover, just to kind of put it out there. But we're looking at career and business first, and then finances second, and then all other aspects of life last but not least, bi'idhnillah. So let me check YouTube real quick and just kind of go throughout the process. Seems like there's somebody joined us on Instagram. Jazakallah khair. Let us know which city you guys are watching from. Bi'idhnillah. Any of your financial maximization questions, I'll go ahead and pin the information in the link below shortly, inshallah. Guapo Stacks from Salt Lake City. Okay, Jazakallah khair. So it looks like Facebook is YouTube's working out all right. I'm gonna check Facebook real quick. And what, man, the picture is too small, so let me know who it is, and I'll give you a shout out, inshallah, as well. But big shout out to you, bro. Jazakallah khair for joining. All right, just a few more moments, inshallah. Appreciate the patience. Jazakumullahu khair. We're going to be talking about money. We're going to be talking about moolah. Any questions that you guys have regarding your money, the three parts of money: making it, managing it, and maximizing it. Any particular questions you may have, let us know, inshallah. Okay. Actually, let me make sure that it's working first. So Facebook. Okay, Facebook is working out all right so far. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Okay. It's one journey to figure things out and get it together, but inshallah, as we figure it out and get it together and move onward and upward, hopefully a lot of these things that seem so complex and hard will start to become simple and easy, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So I'm assuming that you guys can hear me just fine on Instagram, but I'm just gonna double check, inshallah. So I'm assuming that you guys can hear me just fine on Instagram, but I'm just gonna double check, inshallah. Okay. All right. So for the Instagram family, that's the actual phone number that you can reach me at with any of your financial maximization questions, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I know, like I've mentioned before, generally speaking, with business and finances, that's the biggest part of the struggle in my life for the most part. So, looking to overcome it. Hopefully, you guys are joining us on the journey. Trying to be as transparent as I possibly can with you guys, and hopefully that will be something of value and use for you guys on your financial maximization journey. I created the show because I normally have a lot of different questions in my financial maximization journey, as well as my business maximization journey before that, which is a part of it is a career. And then, last but not least, all of the other aspects of life, not only in this dunya, but more importantly in the akhirah, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So hopefully, individuals will be calling in, asking their questions. We'll do the best that we can to make the most out of the situation, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Okay. All right, so it looks like we're pretty much set up on WhatsApp as well. So inshallah, we'll get it started. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Ridwanullah family. Welcome back to a new episode of the Ridwanullah Financial Maximization Show. I'm your host and financial maximizer, Hussein Mohamud, working to help you completely maximize your finances in this dunya and in the akhirah for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Verily, all praise and thanks are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our creator, owner, and sustainer, the one who's worthy of all worship without any associates or intermediaries. And may the peace and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be upon the most esteemed leader and most honorable teacher, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, his family, his companions, and those who follow him until the day of judgment. Allahumma ameen. And inshallah, we're going to be getting onto your financial maximization questions, give you some insights and breakthroughs, and engage with you guys in the comments, whether you just have a comment or questions in the comments, or if you want to text me on that same number, that'll work also, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. With that being said, just to kind of move on to the sponsors, announcements, and updates, our primary sponsor is Ridwanullah.com, which is an Islamic professional and personal development company that's designed to help you completely maximize your business, finances, and life in this dunya and in the akhirah for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So show some love there. Our secondary sponsor is Ridwanullah University's financial maximization program, which is a financial maximization program specifically designed for Muslims online. And it's roughly about $60 per month. We're doing it with 1/3 of the price, which is $20 per month as a kind of a start off phase. So you can find the link in the description below on YouTube and Facebook. Instagram does not have enough space for us to post everything in here. But you could always cross check to YouTube and Facebook, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Other than that, I'm pretty sure you guys already know we're doing the live Q&A call-in shows on Saturdays between Dhuhr and Isha, Mountain Standard Time, or wherever we might find ourselves in, inshallah. And also, we're doing the programs on Sundays. Like tomorrow, we're doing the online group coaching sessions for all the programs, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So hopefully you guys are keeping up to date with us on that. There's a lot of growth and development that we're all going through and growing through and working to improve. And there's a lot of things that are like complex and hard and very hard to produce results through. And some things that are simple and easy. And, we're slowly but surely trying to make the most difficult part of our lives, the most complex and hard part of our lives, into the most simple and easy part of our lives, so we can improve on the other aspects of it as well, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So with that being said, if you guys have any of your financial maximization questions, you can call me directly at 801-471-6491. And if you guys have any problems reaching me, let me know, and I'll see what the issue is, and see how we can resolve that, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I appreciate Brother Guapo Stacks, appropriate name for the financial maximization show, by the way. So shout out to you on Instagram. Appreciate your love and support there. Anybody else who's watching on each of the platforms, leave your comments below and let me know which city you're in, so we could bi'idhnillahi ta'ala connect with you and give you a quick shout out, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So overall, we're here together for roughly about 60 minutes. We have about 45 minutes left. So anybody who has any particular questions, let me know, and subscribe and follow away on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. But I'm on my financial maximization journey, and it's relatively complex and hard for me, but it's an ongoing battle of trying to figure things out and get it together to the best of my abilities and our abilities, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So I hope that this is something that will be useful to you. So until individuals call in at 801-471-6491, I'll just be going through different topics that is under the umbrella of financial maximization, the financial maximization journey, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I appreciate Arfa Saleh. I'm probably forgetting some of you guys' names. I'll start to get used to the names on here, but appreciate you guys joining us, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khair. Okay. Hello? Seems like we're getting a call from Texas, but I'm not sure if you guys can hear me. Hello? Can you hear me? Try to call back again if you can hear me, because I can't hear you for some reason. Let me just make sure that the number's working out all right, inshallah. I appreciate the person who just called. Actually, 1 second. Hello? Hello? Hey, can you hear me? Hello? Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, what's your name? Hello? 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 Yeah, so I can hear myself just fine. I'm not sure why I can't hear the other caller. Um, I'm not sure who that was, but you could try again. I'm not sure why I'm not hearing you. Hopefully, it's not one of those spam or scam calls or whatever it's called, but uh, the prank calls and whatnot. But anybody else who has any other, any financial maximization questions, hit me up 801 471 6491 is the direct number to the show, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I guess in the meantime and in between time, I'm just going to share with you guys some important lessons that will help you, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, on your financial maximization journey, and the things that you could probably do to help you on your journey, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. One of the things that I'm generally focused on right now is my investment vehicles, trying to figure out what is the best investment vehicle that will help me get help me meet my needs and wants, basically, from an investment perspective, like making sure that I have at least sufficient passive income and assets that are appreciating, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. That's a huge need of mine in terms of financial maximization. And also, the other thing is obviously having some level of sufficient active income and work, whether that's through jobs or businesses or anything along those lines, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Seems like Mustafa joined and recognizes Hassan, so appreciate that, inshallah. Obviously the other need would be, just to take care of our personal needs and wants, whether it's the savings, the spending, or the giving, or anything along those lines. And last but not least, all of that leading to the building of our net wealth, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So that's kind of what we're going to be exploring. And, if you're too overwhelmed with your finances right now to start thinking about investments and things like that, don't worry about that right now. And take the proper steps to build on from there, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I appreciate you, Mustafa, for joining, and Hassan Guapo. I think Hassan was asking a question. He said, I can't call right now, but what does the monthly membership promise? The monthly membership offers a couple of things. There's the online group training session where, the groups of individuals within the program get to learn a new lesson of their financial maximization journey, whatever that lesson may be. You guys let us know what you guys want to learn about, and we cater to you guys, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And then 2 weeks later, we do an online group coaching session where we answer all of the questions that you have in detail relating to the topic, relating to the lesson, or the financial maximization, your financial maximization in general, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And last but not least, like, we're developing a lot of other things in the process as of right now for the financial maximization program, as well as the other maximization program. And I'll just kind of leave it at that for right now, but those are generally the three things that we would offer through that. I don't know if it's more of a promise, but if you do take the lessons and you ask the questions and you're engaged, we'll kind of give you the blueprint of your financial maximization journey. So that's the promise, is that we're going to give you a reasonable and solid blueprint that you can take to be able to take the proper steps forward. And we'll give you some assessment tools so you know exactly where you are on your financial maximization journey, and plenty more. So I hope that answers that question for you, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Seems like two friends are kind of meeting for the on this live, that they're joined for the first time. So I appreciate you guys showing your love and support. Where are you at, Mustafa? Let me know which city you're in. Are you also in Salt Lake City, Utah, like most of us? And if you guys have any other financial maximization questions, that's what I'm here for, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, through the Ridwanullah Financial Maximization Show. We're actually in Salt Lake City, Utah. That's actually where we're based out of, even though majority of the work is uh, pretty much online focused. We do some things offline as well, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Upon request as a necessary type of thing, but majority focus, majority of it is focused on online. Which part of Utah, Mustafa? We're all in Utah as well. Which city? So when you're thinking about your investment vehicles to help you, meet your investment needs and wants, you really have to focus on a particular category of investment, and it would be good for you to focus on a niche, like a specific thing within the general categories of investments. And generally with investments, you could have like a systematized business that's a little bit more risk, and potentially more reward as well. The other thing that you want to look into is like real estate. What are your real estate strategies? And then the third thing you want to look at is your dividends and stocks, like stock equity and the different variations of the stocks. I'm not sure if bonds are halal, but that's something else that you can look at. If that's an permissible opportunity. Um, the other thing that you want to look at is like the other collectible items and other investment opportunities that you can look into. As a beginning investor, and obviously I've had some micro experiences with investing with mutual funds and a friend's business and things like that. I looked at the opportunities that came my way and I took advantage of that. That's one other aspect of it, is just seeing what comes your way. Otherwise, you would be looking for investment opportunities in these three categories. But before you look at your investment opportunities, I highly advise you and myself to really look into, if you're an entrepreneur building your own business, right? Because that's the most important investment that you can make, is within yourself and your business. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So that's an important aspect of your financial maximization journey. So I would highly suggest that. And it looks like Hassan is asking, what would you suggest to some 18-year-olds who are relatively new to the game? So if you want like a general advice, I could give you a general advice. If you have something more specific, obviously, you would be asking that. So I'll just tell you in a general way. What I found out from my financial maximization journey is, generally speaking, there's three parts of your financial maximization journey on like a big picture scale. The first part is your source of income and how much of that income that you have, right? Regardless of how you're getting it, majority of the people are making it through jobs, self-employment, and employing others, or investments, right? Unless you have other types of settlements and annuities and things like that, that would fall under the other category, generally speaking. So I would highly focus on learning more about my income, the sources of income that I have. And if you don't have a source of income, you would um, I would highly suggest that you focus on your income. If you don't have a source of income, work on getting it to an at least sufficient level. And there's a way to find out what's an at least sufficient level, and it's all varying depending on the circumstances or the standard of living and giving that someone does. The second part is your professional life, right? So these are the steps that you're going to take to build your professional life. Obviously, if you have a job, there's not really much of money that requires, or any sort of emergency fund and whatnot. Um, so that's something that I would look into. And then obviously, if you want to start your own business, then you would look into investing in your own business, and investments or other opportunities of producing income or appreciation in your assets. Now you're looking at the personal aspect of your life. I really don't have specific steps on the professional side yet, because I'm still in the process of figuring it out. But I would look into the 8 steps financially. So you would always ask yourself, where am I in this 8 financial steps? And I'll give you the first 3. The first one is having $1,000 of an emergency fund. And if you can't really do that, $500 would be the best way to, move up on that, in that aspect of it. Next one is pay off all your debt. I'm a huge advocate of that. And then third is to have 1 month of expenses saved. And then fourth is to have 3 to 6 months of emergency fund saved personally. And then fifth is to invest 15% for your halal retirement. And then, save another 10% for your kids' college fund. And obviously, if you're young enough, then that would be your college fund. And then, number 7 is to buy a house or pay it off early, whatever situation you might find yourself in. And number 8 is to build wealth and give it away. And that's a minor adjustment to a well-known blueprint that's out there. But that's the one that really resonated with me, that really made a lot of sense to me. And that's the one that I'm following. So depending on which level you're on, I would highly suggest, making sure that you're making enough, at least sufficient income, which is quite a challenge depending on, your needs and wants. And then get your personal finances to at least sufficient level, so you could get your professional finances to at least sufficient level, and keep building that system that way, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So I hope that, generally answers your question on what would be the best advice for somebody who's relatively new to the game. Is just, don't rush it is another thing, but act with a sense of urgency. But, take it through the steps, prepare yourself and get yourself ready for the situation, and work on your mindset a lot more, which you're already doing, which is amazing, mashallah, and continue to do more of that. So Hassan is saying, what would you wish you would have invested in or have partaken in when you were 18? So when I was around 18, I obviously, like, I've always tried, thought about business. I've done some side hustles here and there. But I guess another way of looking at it is like, what advice would I give to my 18-year-old self? This is someone who either is graduating high school or graduated high school and is transitioning to or have transitioned into college already. So what I would tell them is, honestly, figure out what your career track is, right? For me, it took me a long time to kind of piece together that my career track is entrepreneurship and investing, generally speaking. So I would really, really focus on, trying to figure out what my career and calling is, right? What I want to do for a long time or forever, right? And for me, this, the educational business is something that I thoroughly enjoy. And I've been trying this for a long time, and, slowly but surely trying to get a good, reasonable situation in. So I would highly, highly encourage you to really focus on your career and calling track, and, make sure that you're making some type of money. I don't care if it's a part-time job. If you need college education, I would highly suggest going into college, especially if you don't know what you want to do with your career and calling. And make sure that you apply for your financial aid. Try to get as many scholarships as you possibly can if you haven't already. Get into various programs that you are eligible for. Like for me, I went into the Upward Bound program that got me into the University of Utah. So that's something that I would highly suggest. Aside from that, think about your long-term goals and, kind of prepare yourself, and don't be afraid of hard work. And, depending on your background, some of us are not, don't have the habit of hard work or the likening of working hard, and I realized in order to get anything in your life, you really have to work hard and sacrifice. So, make sure that you're getting enough income coming in. If entrepreneurship is really your route, really focus on your business, and make sure that you have enough of the savings, like $1,000 emergency fund. Make sure that you pay off all of your debt and have at least 1 month of expenses at your current level. And as your expenses increases, continue to increase your savings for those emergency funds and things like that. If you have the opportunity, when I was around 18, I would highly suggest going to Umrah or visiting your home country if your family members are still there. This will give you a whole different perspective on life. I went out of the country for the first time when I was in the middle of college. So that made me appreciate what I had here in Salt Lake City, Utah, and in the United States. So I hope that answers your question, Hassan. It's good that you're fairly young and asking these important questions. And pain is going to be a part of the equation. Most of us are driven to financial success by the pain that we feel in our lives. So don't be afraid of pain. Try to understand it and try to see how you can use pain to get the things that you need and to transition into pleasure. So, most of us, some of us, at least in the beginning, are motivated by pain, right? Because we have these financial needs that we have to meet either for ourselves, and if we're married, for our spouses and children, and whether we're married or not, with our parents and other family relatives, customers and team and the ummah and world. Like all of these different parts of life require some type of money. So we're driven by pain. Don't be afraid of being driven by pain and fear and all of these negative emotions, generally speaking. And use that, understand your emotions. That's another thing that I wish I learned when I was when I was around 18 years old. It took me a long time to understand the internal world, like my mindset, my heart and mindset, and my emotions and all of these different elements that my internal world is really about. So 80% of the battle that you have is within your internal world. So and then the external part of it, if you can get, most of us really focus on externally first, but if you can focus on your internal world, that'll definitely help you. So understand how your upbringing and past is impacting your current, your present and future life, right? That's another thing that I wish I've known earlier. And obviously there's a lot more, but you'll learn as you move along, getting ready for marriage, at least thinking about it. That's something else that I wish I'd known. And just having, $5,000 to $10,000 saved for that at the very least. And if you could get more, then so be it. And I'm pretty sure if you have family around, they'll be able to help you. Just learn about responsibility and take responsibility while you're young, is another thing that I will say, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So I hope that answers your question, Brother Hassan. Any other questions, shoot it my way. If you can call in, I'd appreciate that. 801-471-6491. I'm only doing what I wished other people did for me, you know. And you know, there's not really many Islamic uh, Muslim-led programs out there. So, you know, what better way to see the change that you know, to be the change that you want to see, in other words. Um, but money is a huge thing, you know. Um, so it's critical for Muslims to learn about money, to not just take whatever, you know, people are telling you, generally speaking. So I usually go to Masjid Al Huda. I don't know if that's where. Which masjid do you normally go to? Guapo Stacks. That's a legit name, by the way. So that means you about that money life. You about the money, man. That's pretty good, man. Jirvia, are you coming to the Isha prayer at Al Huda? Inshallah, that's the ideal plan, inshallah. So actually, my car's in the mechanic shop right now as we speak, so hopefully it'll be out by then, so I can make it there. But what's your name? And seems like you know me, so I can't see a picture and I don't recognize the name. So, what is your name? Oh, okay. I just kind of recognize who Guapo Stacks was. I don't know the exact name yet, but Jirvia? Man, it seems like everybody knows each other except me. What's going on, y'all? Um, so if you guys have any particular questions that's related to your financial maximization journey, hit me up, inshallah. 801 471 6491 is the direct number to the show, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Just following Guapo Stacks. Appreciate it. If you guys could follow the business page, I really appreciate it, as well as um, my personal page, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And I'd really appreciate if you guys show some love to my YouTube channel for the business and personal, as well as the Facebook pages, you know, business and personal, inshallah. And so that's actually a really good question in terms of passive income. What would you say is one of the easiest ways to start passive income? Um, I'm pretty sure you, by asking that question, you seem very intelligent about it. There's one that comes to my mind, but before I let you know, what what would you say is some easy passive income streams? And make sure that it's halal, obviously. You know, you don't want to be doing something that's haram either, especially when it comes to your sustenance, because it is all from Allah. You might as well do it in a halal way, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. There's one that comes to mind, and this is actually I started a business version of it. But I wish I had the opportunity to start, and I'm still thinking about it to this day right now. So just to kind of get into the flow of passive income, it's critical. And actually, passive, most of the people worry about active income, but passive income, man, I'm still positioning myself to start earning some passive income through the investments and things like that. But I got one really good idea for you, especially for the around 18-year-olds, and I'll give you the actual steps to actually do it. So let me know what you think. What would you say is the easiest passive income to get started with? That's a legit question, by the way. Stocks, rental properties, crypto. I'm not sure if they're halal though. um, so I would say stocks might be a little bit easier to get started with in terms of what you just mentioned. Rental properties obviously require a lot of money unless you could figure out how to creatively finance that in a halal way. Crypto is not passive income, by the way. There's no income associated to crypto. It's just appreciation or depreciation. So it either just goes up and down. So that wouldn't even fall into that category as of right now. So since you gave me the answer, I did promise that I will tell you the one thing that I was thinking about that I'm still thinking about actually. And that's, the vending machines, the candy machines. So that's what I would say would be a real, especially for youth like you, man, I would highly, highly suggest that. So the way that I would do it is I would first find these. Sometimes you could even find start off with just one machine for like $25. You could literally find that, or $50 or $100. I wouldn't go more than that as a beginner, unless you have enough, like let's say $500 to $1,000 or so. Then you can move on to the bigger things. But if you can't handle the small parts, it's harder to move on to the bigger ones. So I would look for something around the range of like $25 to $100 range. And there's plenty of that, like the ones that you put in the quarter and you turn. Once I find it, I would go and purchase it. And then I would go to either, local businesses. I would go to like, various businesses, organizations, governments, and basically businesses, probably governmental offices and nonprofit organizations, which the masjid is a part of. That's something that's a huge idea. So, and it says, I feel like it's tough to get the contacts to put them in public places though. True. But if you start establishing relationships, you'll be surprised to how easy it is. I know at least, minimum 2 to 5 different organizations that minimum, right? That I can go to and say, hey, I want to be able to put vending machines here. Is it cool? They would most likely say yes. If they start asking for a percentage of, the profits, then that's something that you can negotiate. Anywhere from 10 to 30%, I would say, is kind of reasonable, or maybe 25%. But it's probably not as hard as you think it is. And this is, if you really want to make it far in business and investments, generally speaking, establishing connections and relationships where some of the things that you think are impossible start to become your new possibilities. So I would highly look into that for sure. So I hope that answers that question for you, bi'idhnillah. But hit me up, 801-471 801-471-6491. And if I'm remembering your name correctly, Guapo Stacks is Hassan, right? I'm pretty sure you know me and I know you. I just took a quick peek at your picture, so I'm familiar with you, bro. You seem like a really good dude, so keep doing your thing, man. And be a source of light for the youth, man, because I got a really soft spot for the youth, man, because I know how it is to be in those negative circles and negative influences. And hopefully, the show and the channels and the programs that I personally offer would be a reasonable outlet for you guys as well. So yeah, big shout out to you, man. Keep doing your thing, inshallah. So are you still in high school, or did you finish high school yet? And you went to West High, if I remember correctly, or which high school did you go to? All right. So for anybody who's watching on Instagram, Facebook, let me know which city you're checking in from. As well as anybody who's watching on YouTube, let me know, inshallah. I graduated from West High last year. Black Panthers or Panthers? I don't think it's Black Panthers. I think the logo is black, but I think West High Panthers is what it's called, right? That's what's up, man. So are you going into college, or you just kind of college is not your thing, or what's the deal with that? Okay, that's pretty cool, man. Are you planning on transferring over to the U, or some other place, or just getting your associates? And also, one of the great ways to think about your financial progress is think about what your financial maximization goals are. So what are the goals that you need? Everybody has different needs and wants, right? So think about what your needs and wants are, and then figure out how to go about meeting that. So if you can let me know, what are some of your financial goals that you have right now? 801-471-6491 is the direct number, bi'idhnillah. Um, so, your financial maximization journey is not going to be easy, or simple or easy. It's going to be complex and hard, especially if you come from a broke background. So, and especially if you come from a Deen background, there's just not enough, I feel like, resources and opportunities to teach us about business and all other aspects of finances and life and things like that. And I'm still going through the school of hard knocks right now, just learning through trial and error. Talking to individuals, entrepreneurs, financial maximizers, as well as life maximizers, and talking to them and seeing how can I move onward and upward in these categories of my life and all other aspects of my life. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with. I'm not sure yet, as Hussein saying. I know what I want to accomplish and where I want to be. I'm just not sure if I'd continue college if I hit a certain spot financially after my associates. Okay. What do you want to do for your career? I mean, you seem very entrepreneurial and investor minded. So I'm not trying to lead you by any chance, but like, what do you want to do with your career and calling? Um, and is business something that you're thinking about? Yeah, I mean, it's all tentative, right? There's no commitments. You go as you grow, you kind of assess your needs and wants, and you make decisions from there. But I would highly recommend, don't waste time in getting your associates and your bachelors at the very least. In the beginning, I didn't know what a bachelor's was, or associates, or even masters or PhD and whatnot. But I would highly suggest People, I've seen people come out of high school, waste 4 to 6 years of their lives after high school and still haven't gotten a degree yet. So compared to somebody who struggled in the beginning and got their degree, so I'm a very, very good advocate, strong advocate of getting your degrees, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So, right now I'm actually doing inside sales for a particular company, and, working towards becoming a full-time entrepreneur and investor. That's kind of like my career track, and I love the educational business. So becoming, some level of an author and speaker, that's kind of like, on a bigger scale, the things that I'm trying to accomplish myself, and, starting the shows and the programs and so many other things is crucial, man. So I'm really passionate. Hassan is saying, I'm really passionate about cars. I want my day to day to be working on cars. I want to own my own shop and have multiple streams of income. So an entrepreneur mechanic, that's a legit field. Every now and then, whenever I have a lot of car problems, obviously my car is in the shop right now, or actually my spouse's car is in the shop, which is kind of ours, by the way. But anyway, I think about, like, starting these, Jiffy Lubes, quick lubes type of shops, and, full blown mechanics and some level of auto body. And, there's so many different options within that industry, man. So that's pretty legit, man. I would highly encourage you to get and stay focused on that. And have you worked for a shop before, or worked in a shop before, or visited one to shadow? I mean, obviously, no matter what, people are gonna have, car problems. So that's not a business that's gonna go away anytime soon. And whatever main means of transportation, that's gonna have some type of mechanical issues, or auto body and paint issues, or, some sort of customization needs and things like that associated to it. So you're gonna be good for a quick minute, inshallah. Every time I keep thinking about this is apple juice, by the way. So anybody who's wondering out there, get your mind out of the gutter. This is apple juice, inshallah. It's not anything else. Bi-idhnillah. But aside from, just trying to figure yourself out in your financial maximization journey, and, trying to take care of yourself, current or future spouse, and children, one of the other hard things is, like, just making sure that your loved ones that could potentially be your dependent, either directly or indirectly, and other loved ones are taken care of, like that. I mean, obviously, and trying to find a balance between being selfish and selfless. Sometimes you can't be all selfish. Most of us start off as selfless because we always want to give and feel guilty and whatnot. But not only do you want to be selfless, you also want to be selfish, taking care of yourself. And then, you find some level of a balance between all of that, is a crucial part of your financial maximization journey, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And real quick, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And if you've liked this video, please press the like button, and leave your comments below. And also share with your family and friends to help, the different platforms grow. I really want to be able to, impact a lot of individuals' lives and work on helping them improve it and move onward and upward, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So your love and support will be greatly appreciated. Connect with me, come talk to me, chill with me. Even though this is virtual, this is pretty cool. My brother Hussein here, we run into each other here and there. We see each other, during the youth lectures and programs and things like that. But I guess it took a show to connect each other and for me to learn more about him directly. So I'm grateful for that. So show your love and support there. Just to kind of summarize and conclude, and I'll probably summarize and conclude maybe once more, but our primary sponsor is, just to kind of give you guys a quick recap of the sponsors, announcements, and updates. Our primary sponsor is Ridwanullah.com, which is an Islamic professional and personal development company that's designed to help you completely maximize your business, finances, and life in this dunya and in the akhirah for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Secondly, Ridwanullah University's financial maximization program is the secondary sponsor, which is obviously a monthly membership program. It's normally $60 per month, but as a start-off phase, generally we're doing it 1/3 of the price, which is $20 per month. So you'll be getting, monthly trainings and coaching sessions plus more throughout that program. And that's kind of how the other programs are structured as well, just focused on that particular topic. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So, show your love and support. If it's helpful for you, let me know. And also, if anybody's is interested in, semi-trailer rentals, hit me up. I want to connect with you and ask you a couple of follow-up questions so I can learn your needs and wants a little bit more, and maybe I'll be able to help, service you bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. If you would like to sponsor the show, send your request, budget, and details to Ridwanullah Organization at gmail.com. We'll try to, connect with you that way. Also, we're doing the shows on Saturdays between Duhur and Maghrib, Duhur and Isha. And also, we're also doing, the programs on Sundays, same timing as the shows. So instead of Saturday, just keep it in mind as Sunday. But the shows are weekly, but except when I'm on my quarterly retreat or something along those lines, or I'm sick or something, may Allah forbid. But the programs is on a bi-weekly basis. So we're only going to be doing the programs twice per month, 60 minutes each. So you're looking at, about 3 hours invested in each program. So that's something that you should look into, inshallah. So getting back to Hassan, he's saying, yeah, I'm semi-experienced in the field, but I would want mine to mainly focus on customizing and restoring. That's pretty deep. I know there's this customization shop on Redwood in about 3900 South. So, that's a lucrative business if you could find the right clientele. And you said that's another market I'm looking into as well. Which market? The trucking market? Me and a couple of my friends were going to finance one. Finance a truck or the trailer, or which market are you referring to? Yeah, man, they make, especially when you're young, man, they make quite a lot of money, man. But a lot of people focus more on the means instead of the end goal. So you really have to first start with your end goal, right? Because your end goal is not really, business and investments and all of these other financial stuff. It's really the things that you really need and want in your life, right? So a really important end goal that I'm really focused on is, going to Hajj, learning the deen, supporting my loved ones, trying to build, trying to support my customers and team. that's more of a means rather than an end goal. But another end goal is like, trying to improve and help our ummah and world, right? Um, and buy a house. Um, I was gonna say buy an office space, but that's more of a means to an end rather than an actual end goal. So, really focus on what your end goal is, and then look at the size of your end goal, and then compare it to the means that it takes for you to get to your end goal. Because a lot of us are not driven to do the hard stuff because simply we don't desire something bad enough to do that work. So, that's something that would be really, really good to look into, inshallah. Yeah, I don't know if, I mean, obviously, considering that you're doing some sort of halal financing, um, obviously you don't want to pay riba and all of these other things um, that are not permissible in our deen. But especially when you're young, man. I've been thinking about trucking for so long, bro. It's not even funny, man. And multiple people started way after me, and were able to get a lot of things moving forward in a positive direction. So trucking is really it. But the biggest challenge that we're all facing is limited capacity and capability. Obviously, if we had unlimited capacity and capability, we can start everything. But you really have to focus on your main thing, right? And then the secondary thing. And sometimes you might be able to change the main thing. As of right now, inside sales is my main thing. Potentially I could be getting into trucking as the main thing, and then from trucking into e-commerce. That's one of my biggest dreams, is having e-commerce along with my educational business. Restaurants and cafes are one of the things that I'm thinking about. Investments is another thing. That there's so many ideas, bro. And technology companies, software and development and things like that. And also a part of my investment strategy is, systematized businesses is a part of it. Real estate is a big part of it. Stocks, collectibles, and other things that I can figure out. Um, and also the thing that I love the most, that I'm passionate about the most, is educational business. That's why, I've been focused on the shows and the programs, and trying to write, figuring out my books and speaking engagements and whatnot. So hopefully that's somewhat of insightful and inspiring. But focus on your main thing, and then think about all of the different elements and how you could obviously jobs is a part of the equation, businesses, investments, educational business, um, and then letting all of that lead to making sure that you're building your personal life. That's a huge aspect of trying to make things happen in your life. Um, so yeah, go into that, bro. If that's something that something that really serves you. Um, but show some love across the platforms. I think we're a little bit over time right now, but it's good to kind of chop it up with you, man. I'm happy to see your ambition level, man. I don't know who else is in your circle as hungry as you, but your hunger inspires me, man, especially when you're around the age that you are, man. MashaAllah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you more success. I'll continue to do the shows, so feel free to connect with me during the shows, and even outside of the shows, if there's any questions that you have, or anything that I could do to help you on your either business or financial or life maximization journey. Please let me know, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Um, so keep doing your thing, bro. I have a lot of financial goals that I'm working on right now. Things that I used to dream about and thought, man, I hope one day I'm kind of past that right now, even though they're on some micro scale. I'm trying to, continuously level up to at least sufficient level with business, finances, and all other aspects of life, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So we'll be back with the final show of the day, which is the life maximization show. We started off with the business maximization show and talked about careers a little bit in that. And then we're doing the financial maximization show right now. And then last but not least, we'll talk about life maximization show. And in that, we're going to really be talking about our deen, and who you're understanding, who you're learning your deen from, which is way more important than your businesses and finances. The most important part of your life is your deen. And obviously the other aspects of your life we'll be touching on, but I'm really, really focused on the deen. So I'll be talking a little bit about that, and any all other aspects of your life questions that you have, like deen and self, family and relatives, the ummah and world questions. That's what that show is designed for. And also the program, which is the life maximization program. We dive deeper into that with lessons, trainings and coachings, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, of particular lessons, inshallah. For sure, man. Keep me posted, man. I'll try to be that mentor that I wish I had, man. Even though obviously, I got a long way to go myself, but I've come a long way myself as well. So keep going, keep doing your thing, bro. And Jazakallah khair for joining us and carrying the show with me. But that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna check out. Check the links in the description below for more details on anything that we talked about. I also have some links on there. If you ever need something from there and you purchase through it at no additional cost to you, we might get a percentage of a kickback, some sort of affiliate marketing. So, you utilize. They're not allowing me to do that on Instagram right now, but YouTube and Facebook, we have those links in the description below. So show your love and support to the Ridwanullah Organization that way. But that's pretty much it. Jazakumullahu khair, Ridwanullah family, for tuning into a new episode of the Ridwanullah Financial Maximization Show. I'm your host and financial maximizer, Hussein Mohamud, working to help you completely maximize your finances in this dunya and in the akhirah for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.